Yeah, this is Mrs. Z and Fifth, another episode. What's going on? Mrs. Z, what up?
Hey,
All right.
good to be here, Fifth.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. This is your host, your co-host, the Fifth General. Zaccheus is here. So we're gonna get right into it. This is an episode right after the Super Bowl. Okay. And go ahead and say what you gotta say as far as your thoughts on the Super Bowl, because I didn't watch it, but I saw some pictures, I saw some clips or something that I really wasn't pleased with.
Yeah.
So Zacchaeus, I'll let you have the floor.
All right, man. Watching the Super Bowl, I caught like glimpse. So I was just curious to see who was gonna be at the halftime show. So I just tuned in and I seen these lovely two young sisters, twin sisters singing, and I said, okay, they're singing the national anthem, and then I waited a few minutes later, then I seen Gladys Knight singing the national anthem. Gladys Knight, and she was for her age, she looks great for her age, and she didn't really, I guess not so much about folks because they paid too much attention to the cause of Colin Kaepernick, but here she was there singing. And then I waited for and then I turned back. I took it off for a little while, then I turned back to the halftime show. Halftime show included Maroon 5. I think that's the name of the pop group Maroon 5, and then after that, and then guess who made an appearance? Then it had Trevor Scott, he's a trap artist. He's today's trap artist, Trevor Scott. He did the performance, and then Big Boy from Outkast performed, which I was pretty. I was just I don't know, just a little taken back because I was like, wait a minute, here's it that Cardi B is on her she's like the most talked about artist right now.
Yeah.
She's on the top I guess the top artist of the year awards or something like that. She's an artist that made her debut at this day and this time. And then a few other artists like Rihanna and Jay, and then they had Beyonce. They refused to sing at the halftime show. But I'm just noticing that I was like wondering why Big Boy was there. I was just curious. That's all. And then Trevor 5. I was just curious. I understand why Maroon 5 was there. Remember they're a pop rock group, so I understand. But when this is why sometimes it's hard for us to stand in unity, because sometimes it's a mixture. We have a lot of us folks have a lot of we don't stand together as a unit. So this is why we have different goals and different aspirations about ourselves, and we strive for what we want, but sometimes we tend to ignore the cause. And some of us stand together and band for the cause, but they have some of our folks that don't. They have some of our folks that's just trying to get a shine on, and they're trying to maybe they're not making their popular appearance right now. So a Super Bowl offer, yes, I'll jump on it. And I'm like noticing, I'm like, wait a minute, but first I'm not surprised because since the beginning of even during the time of, how could I say, slavery, or even beyond that, we never really stood together. So I'm not surprised to see Big Boy on there, or Trevor Scott on there, or Gladys Knight. Sometimes does, and sometimes we see the money and we forget about the cause. So now I'm scratching my head and I'm just looking at, and I said, okay, Gladys Knight is on there. That's who was there because I heard she's gonna be on there. So I'm not surprised to see Gladys Knight, but I was a little taken back by Big Boy and Trevor Scott. And I was like, okay. nowhere on a lot of us is on boycott because it's not against the United States flag, but it's against the police brutality of young black men. And and Travis Scott and Big Boy, they are performing. Not knocking them. I'm just noticing that there's don't we don't stand in unison when it comes to make it stand in a cause. Because even going into Rosa Parks. Now Rosa Parks in December 1st, 1951. 1955. December 1st, 1955, she took a stand for that one day on the bus when she was coming from work. And she said that she's not gonna stand up when the bus driver came there and said, "Excuse me, you're taking this seat. Why are you sitting there? Why don't you get up and go on back of the bus?" Listen, she worked almost all her life. She was 40 years old. And she said, "I'm tired and I'm not going to get up and go back. Why should I give up my seat after I come from a hard day's work and stand up?" He said, "Ma'am, you'll be arrested if you don't stand up." And she decided to sit down until the police officers came on the bus and arrested her. This is so then, but some of us, some of our black folks, I'm just saying that a lot of us, and maybe even during the time of Montgomery, Alabama, 1955, a lot of us boycotted, but a lot of us didn't. A lot of us boycotted, maybe during that time, 55, but I bet you a lot of us didn't. What I'm trying to say in all this is that we all need to stand in unity, not just some of us, but all of us. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're going to use this to segue to what I'm talking about. The NFL is very aware of people who support Kaepernick and his cause. When he kneeled in protesting during the national anthem, at first he was sitting, and then he kneeled in honor of the troops because he met with a Navy veteran, a military veteran. I'm not sure which branch he was with, and he said, "Okay, well, I'll kneel instead." And the man told him, "You can kneel and sit and do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I actually don't have a problem with you protesting." That's what the military vet said to him. Yeah. But Kaepernick said, "Well, you know what? Out of respect, I'll just take a knee, because in one way I have my cause that I stand for, but in another way, I respect you too." So Kaepernick always had respect for the troops.
Yes,
he always did, even though the flag has nothing to do with the troops. It really doesn't. So, but that's another conversation. So, the NFL is very aware of that. Getting back to my point. So, this is why they did what they did. They tried to book Cardi B. Cardi B said no. Because she's in support of Kaepernick. She's basically saying, well, I'll perform if you sign Cap, or if you don't, or people who are like Cap, you don't blackball them like you did Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so Maroon 5 and Big Boy and Travis Scott were not their first choice. People turned it down. So this is why it got to them. Now, Maroon 5 has no skin in this game. They don't have skin in this game to fight. They don't.
Right.
Simple as that. Just keeping it real. I would maybe if Adam Levine said, "Hey, in respects to my friends, I'm not going to perform because I have black friends, and I support. I'm against police brutality, and I also believe in freedom of protest." But he didn't have that approach, and neither did Justin Timberlake last year. So black people wake up on that. That's why last year when they tried to get Jay-Z to do it, Jay-Z said no, and that inspired Cardi B to say no, because Jay-Z last year said no. No, I just want people to pay attention to all of these artists who performed during the halftime show. I just want black folks to pay, black folks who are actually about something. I just want y'all to pay attention to who denies and who accepts. Who denies shows that who denies it or turns down that due to what's happening and due to the new protest rules that they got in the league, says something about their character. And the ones that perform regardless of what's been happening, regardless of the disrespect, regardless of what Trump said about their sons of bees because they protested, and you still get up there and you perform, that says something about your character. So no disrespect to Big Boy or Gladys Knight or Travis Scott or Maroon 5, but shut the heck up forever. I'm going there.
Wow.
For real. And Cee-lo, all due respect, you shut the heck up forever, because you got up there, was on some F all y'all who protested,
wait a minute, that's what he said?
In layman's terms, he's basically saying to Big Boy, don't worry about the people who didn't want you to do it. Do you. And it's like, look, yeah, you have a right to do you, but Cee-lo, don't disrespect the cause. Don't disrespect the cause. And Cee-lo, you've been on stage cooning anyway. You're sitting up there in the Gnarls Barkley group, and then you got on there's pictures of you with a black skirt on. But I won't. But I digress. You're up there singing with who that he did the Grammys, and he performed with what's her name, and she thought it was okay to say the N-word. The chick from Iron Man, that Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow,
right.
Yeah,
right.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Anyway, I won't get into that. No, forget it, I will get into that. She about a couple years ago. Remember Jay-Z and Kanye did that song called I'm gonna just say it, even though we don't do the N-word on this program, but they had a song called "Niggas in Paris" on their Watch the Throne album, and she was like tweeting or whatever and talking about she was in Paris, and in the post, Paris, France, that is. And in the post, it was like some black folks in Paris or whatever the heck was going on in Paris, or they was in Paris. And then she gonna tweet or post, niggas in Paris. Like, for real, she straight up said that.
What?
So I've already been done with her, and she can shut the heck up forever too. You know what I'm saying? And he up there, and he up there performing the Grammys with her like 2-3 years ago, whatever the heck that was. It doesn't matter. But they performed that song, "Forget You," and she up there singing on the piano, and he dressed like a freaking peacock, looked like the NBC logo. I don't know what the heck Cee-lo was doing. So the
Cee-lo Green is crazy.
The point I'm making is Cee-lo been crazy, and Cee-lo trying to get back in good graces of white supremacy, because remember, Cee-lo was almost out of here, jail time wise, because remember he got accused of slipping him. Let me slow down. Allegedly, he got accused of slipping Mickeys in drinks.
What?
I'm just saying. So so that's why Cee-lo running his mouth. Okay. I'm just stating facts.
Get back good grace with supremacy. Oh,
hey,
okay.
I'm just stating some facts. I don't want no smoke with none of y'all. I'm not trying to attack y'all or fight y'all. I don't want to do that. But I just have to point out the facts. Is that Cee-lo, you was under fire, and you was about to get blackballed. He kind of still blackballed. You haven't seen him in a while, because of what happened. So I can understand him tweeting that. It's almost like he's trying to get a butter biscuit. Oh, forget it. I'm going too far. Anyway, like I said, no disrespect to him, but I'm just saying, I'm not down with that.
Right.
And then also, let me get further in my point. They had out there. They try to do some fake acknowledgement of Black history. They had Bernice King out there,
yes.
Andrew Young, and They had civil rights activist Andrew Young, the one who was with Martin Luther King at the time.
And John Lewis. John Lewis.
Lord forgive me.
Yeah.
John Lewis. Lord forgive me. John, let me just say something to John Lewis specifically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You've been through a lot, brother, and I thank you.
Thank you. Yes, for sure.
But you are down with them Democrats. You ain't gonna get nothing with them. Nothing. They put you up there every time. Every time. They're gonna do this with Kamala Harris soon if it hasn't already happened. If it hasn't already happened, they're gonna try to get him up there to rally some black folks. You know, for him to get up there. You know, and then he'll be saying.
Yeah, but they knew what they were doing when they put on the they knew what they were doing. They put on the Dr. King commercial, then they had Bernice King.
Yeah, Bernice King.
You know, John
Let
Lewis,
me tell you something.
John Lewis.
Bernice King already. Bernice King, I feel like has been a little soft on white supremacy in regards to how they treat her father. Lately, some reporter somewhere, I don't know where the heck he was. You know, he's on TV saying Martin Luther Coon, and then says King. And, you know, for years, that was something that in the media they always said about Martin Luther King. They always slipped up and called him Martin Luther Coon on news media for years. And this guy gets up there, he says it was a slip of the tongue. Okay, you say it was a slip of the tongue, but you was reading a teleprompter. That means, and it wasn't written on the teleprompter, Martin Luther Coon. That means that's on your mind. That's what you think. A wise man once told me the first thing that comes out of a man's mouth is usually the truth.
Yeah, when the Bible says, "Whatever the abundance of a heart, the mouth speaks." So,
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's exactly. So it's that was in his heart the whole time.
Exactly. That man probably says Martin Luther Coon in his sleep, and you know it was on his mind, so he said it that way. You know what I mean? And they said they forgive him. Okay, good. You forgive him. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, my phone ringing. Good Lord, my bad. I gotta put on silent. And I understand. You know, I do. You want to forgive him? Hey, I forgive the man too, but that don't mean I'm gonna act like it was an accident. I don't think it was an accident. I think it was what he feels, and it was what he said, and there you have it. Can you imagine if he would have said some anti-Jewish stuff by accident? I wouldn't.
I'll shut him down, man.
I don't think I would see not one rabbi forgive him. But that's another conversation. So. Nope. You know, they're using black people that once meant something to us or still mean something to us as a means to get our ratings, because they know a lot of black people watch TV. Okay? A lot of black people watch TV. A lot of us watch football. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, I heard the Super Bowl was boring. I think the game was only like 13-3. The Patriots won, you know. Trump, President Agent Orange, Tom Brady. That's basically his best friend. You know, Tom Brady. He's a MAGA hat wearer. You know, he's a MAGA hat wearer. So, but they get John Lewis up there, and they always use him. I just want to give them a point about John Lewis. They always use him to get black people to vote when they want to support a candidate. Right. You know, they did that. They do it every time. They did it this past time. You know, he's out there, and he gets up there and he goes, you know, and Lord forgive me, but I got to do his voice. Shout outs to Tariq Nasheed, because he did this first, or one of the first. The man was out there and he was like, I was out there with Martin, so I need you to get out there and vote. I was beaten, so vote. And my whole thing is, brother, I'm not saying that didn't happen to you, but you're not getting nothing with the Democrats, man. You're not getting nothing with them, man. And that was what I was saying earlier. And you need to hold the Democrats accountable for trying to by getting our vote and not doing anything specifically for black people. And I don't care. I don't care what people say about me and my stance on voting right now. But black people need to be selfish about voting, just like the Asian community, just like other ethnic community, just like the Jewish community. Hello, when it comes to you getting their support, we need to be politically selfish, and that means this is what the Jewish community does, and I am in full support of what they do for their community when it comes to this. If you want to talk to them, there's a hierarchy. They tell you straight up, hey, okay, enough about all this other stuff. Enough about bringing change and hope and making America great again. What are you gonna do for Israel? Okay, that's how they hold them accountable.
Yeah, see,
that's how they do that. The Asian community, specifically the Chinese, what are you gonna do for the people here? We have Chinatowns. Mm-hmm. You ain't about to be getting our vote, and you ain't doing nothing that's going to put us in a better position. That's how the Chinese community thinks. And as a matter of fact, the Asian community are not even the top voters. You know, they believe in group economics financially to better their cause, but also they're not targeted the same way black people are in America. So they're able to actually do that because white people leave them alone. Well, to some degree, not white people. Let me correct that. White supremacy, because not all white people are white supremacists. Let me say that.
That's true.
For the most part, white supremacy leaves them alone to a point. I wish white supremacy would leave us alone in the days of Black Wall Street before they bombed it.
Hello, speak it.
because the best moments of black unification was during the time when white supremacy, to a point, left us alone.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I didn't watch it. I don't know if LeBron James watched it, but I know he wore a Kaepernick jersey and took a picture with it in support. So did Stephon Curry. Took a picture of them wearing a Kaepernick jersey on Super Bowl day. Fox 5 New York local news put up a thing on Facebook that said, in honor of Black History Month, we support Colin Kaepernick in his cause and his fight against social injustice. I wasn't expecting that, but shout outs to them.
Yo, shout out to Fox 5 for doing that. I didn't even know they did that.
Fox 5 New York.
For real.
Well, I just want to get specifically. Fox 5 New York City. I don't know about no other Fox News stations all over, but at least local Fox News in New York said, put that up. Oh, the hate comments that they got. The hate comments. Oh, wow. There was a bunch of MAGA hat / Klan hoodie wearers in there going off on Fox News.
Oh, wow. Wow. See?
My God.
See?
Zaccheus, what you got to say about this, man?
So, man, I mean, I look at it this way. If we don't, what divided we fall, we stand in unity, we stand. United we stand, divided we fall. You know, got it from a reggae tune, you know. Like what's the artist's name? United we stand, divided we fall. Not Louis Ranks, is the artist, Louis Culture, the United we stand, hands up, united we stand, divided we fall. So, and then to Rosa Parks, we applaud her on her birthday today. That's why I mentioned her. Also, just like Kaepernick, just like Rosa Parks took a stand.
Yep.
Yes, Rosa Parks was in position to take a stand, and I'm sure she was not the only one that refused to give her pursuit in the bus. But because she was so prominent in her community, she was part of the NAA. She was part of the NAACP.
Her affiliation helped because plenty of black people were thrown in jail before her. But her affiliation helped, and her friendship with Martin Luther King helped.
It helped because she had the exposure, she had the popularity. So her stance to not give her pursuit on the bus, it said a lot, and it took um, it gave her to give her a stance and prominence. Of course, she had the prominence in the community, so by her, just like Kaepernick, and her voice was heard when she when she refused to give her a seat on the bus. So just like Kaepernick, he said, you know what, I'm gonna take a stand and I'm gonna kneel. I'm not disrespecting the flag, but I'm taking a knee to stop the police brutality against brown and black people. So Kaepernick, with the honor and respect of see a lot of us now going for what you said. A lot of us, things fade out. We decide, okay, you know what? No one is talking about it right now. So I'm gonna just continue to watch football. I'm gonna continue to support or that give us this discrimination against us and support businesses that's discriminated against us. And especially if you're not aware of it, okay, but if you're aware of it and you still support that business, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you. So we have to. The only way we can get our voices heard is we unite.
Yeah.
A lot of us, okay, we vote because we see John Lewis. He walked with Dr. King. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did walk with Dr. King. He certainly did.
But he not going.
But just saying I'm a Democrat and change is gonna come.
It's not happening. It's not happening, and that's why I would support John Lewis if he got with a conglomerate of a new political party that actually is for the people.
Yes.
So yes. That's all I'm saying. If that happens, fine. But if not, we're not getting nothing with the Democrats, man. We know we know we're not getting nothing with the Republicans. We've been knowing that. But we ain't getting nothing with the Dems. And then you got, oh Lord, see, now you're gonna have me on a political talk. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez was on a panel for this Black History thing. I don't know why. Yeah. Why she was there, I don't know. But she spoke about reparations, but then she included she talked about slave reparations. And then she talked about other groups that should be included when paying reparations. She said, reparation, that she talked about the history of what has happened and what white supremacy has done as far as implementing systems to give them a leg up, a head up on things. Pushed off the profit and the backs of our brothers and sisters who were slaves for over 400 years. And then she talked about that being passed down to Hispanic communities. I'm sorry, but the last time I checked, slave reparations were those who were in slavery, right? So if anything, black people, if we're gonna get reparations, it should be ours. And then what I want to say to Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is, if you want another program for other people, then create one. Don't lump in people who had nothing to do with the struggle. That makes no sense.
Right.
I'm sorry, but we don't have a black and brown relationship. If we did, things would be better. But we don't have it. And because we don't have it, that's where we're at. I'm sorry. That got to be separate. And then some Democrat got on there. I don't know her name. Hold on, let me get her name. She said something about black people should get $100 billion in reparations. $100 billion should be more than that. $100 billion.
More than that.
First off, all you got to do is talk about the money that was. It should be in the trillions, really. $100 billion. That ain't enough. Not for what we go through. I'm gonna tell you why we ain't getting reparations, man. There was reparations for the Holocaust, but I'm gonna tell you why we ain't getting reparations. Do you know that the moment you give black people the moment you give black people reparations, we can save the economy completely. Okay? That's one factor. Then you got to give black people credit for saving the economy. They don't want to do that. Number two, we will have our resources. Well, I don't know if we'll have our resources, but we will contribute to at least getting our resources back.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't want that because that means financial independence. We will leave our jobs and start our own businesses. So we will no longer work for white supremacy in that standpoint. Secondly, they're afraid that if you give black people reparations, that will end white supremacy financially.
Yeah, but that's well. Think about it, because remember Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
In the 1920s, late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
There haven't been another Wall Street ever since then.
There's been an attempt in history, and there's been an attempt right after Black Wall Street. There was a rebuild, but it never was what it was to begin with, you know. And then you had practices of eminent domain and highways being built to these neighborhoods of the many Black Wall Street and Black Wall Streets, plural, that were in other places around the nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So other cities and black townships where black people were independently had their neighborhood where they own their schools, their banks, and all that other stuff, because that's what a real community is. Is when you own, was when you control not only the wealth but the education and the house and the real estate. We don't have that.
Right. They had
you know.
No.
So I'm just saying, I just want black people to watch out for these Democrats, man, because they're trying to tell us something, and they're really trying to get our vote, but they really don't care about us, because a lot of them will sit up there. Her name is, because, my bad, I'm looking at something. This is what they'll do. They'll talk to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll talk to us just to get our vote, but they won't do anything. They won't do anything for our community. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Tarikna, she talks about there's things that need tangible ideas that black people can actually go off of to actually get support. And the one thing I said, was, in the last episode, I talked about the 10-point program of the Black Panther Party, how if a candidate, black or non-black, is not going to address at least that, because that is part of the black agenda, they don't talk to me.
You know, I'm sure that a lot of us are aware of that policy that the Black Panther Party portrays, but they're afraid to attempt it. They're afraid to address it. I'm sure a lot of Democrats, black Democrats, will say, "Well, that's old. You're talking about 1960s. We're not going to bring that up now."
Why not? You bring up they bring up other stuff that's old, but why, when it comes to black people, they don't bring it up? You see what I'm saying?
You know, and they go off with this. Well, we all have to be united, and we all have to. Yeah, nothing wrong with being united, but show us interest to us. Show us where we can build capital, because without capital and without the resources and economics, we cannot go in. We're stuck. We're in this rat race, working for others, not building our own businesses, not helping our communities. A lot of our schools are not great. In a sense, it's just. So when we vote, it's like, okay, you put in your vote because a lot of us are on the we trace back to the civil rights movement. They fought for voting. They fought for rights for us to vote. They fought for rights for us to vote. But now we're at a stance where, okay, what can be done to stop? What can be done to stop situations like police brutality and poor housing, public housing, or poor schools? What can be done?
Malcolm X said. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but real quick, because I'm going to stick to your point about education, and I'll let you get back to it. Malcolm X said, if you live in a poor neighborhood, you have poor teachers. If you have poor teachers, you have poor schools. If you have poor schools, you have a poor education, and all it does is repeat a vicious cycle that needs to end. So that's I think that's where you're going with Zaccheus with that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm going. Yeah. So we gotta basically not just get up and go vote because of our right to vote. We gotta look at these candidates and see what they're running for, see where they're standing, see where they stand, and see and just read about them, understand where they're going, listen to them speak. Not just voting because I'm gonna vote for this candidate, but if you're just gonna vote and then they're not gonna do nothing to change what's going on, then it's in other words, it's like okay, you put it to action, but the action is not being done. There's no progressive action that's being done.
Yeah.
So how is this person gonna change what's going on and what's going on to build up our communities, to help to be an asset to our communities, to add to our communities? Is it not adding to our communities? Do not vote for her. Do not vote for him.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna transition into this, and if we have to come back to this, we will. Rapper 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Based out of Atlanta. We just found out the other day that this man is from the UK. So, immigration came for him. I'm not laughing about this part, but immigration came for him. ICE. They arrested him. They have him in custody. It turns out he overstayed his visa. I didn't know this man was even from the UK because he does not have a British accent.
Yeah. Right.
I haven't even heard it. I mean, half of the time I can't understand what he's saying because he's mumbling.
Right.
So, but 21 Savage has been arrested. Hey, recently I just want to give him this respect at least. I don't want to just disrespect him. I mean, he's still a human being. Recently, he been speaking about Trump and the border wall and stuff like that, and they find it interesting how this guy talks about the border wall, and now all of a sudden he's being arrested and to face a possible deportation.
Deportation, isn't that something?
Now he's compared to the Slick Rick situation because we didn't know that Slick Rick was from another country until he got arrested. You know what I'm saying?
No, well, years ago, with Slick Rick, I found out.
I was a kid when this happened.
I read a lot. And I'm from the era of the golden era of hip hop, and Slick Rick was from London. I knew he was from London. But when you hear him talk sometimes, he puts on the American accent, but he also has a slight. You can barely hear the slight British accent. Not like Moni Love. Moni Love has a strong British accent.
But did you know that when he first came out with Dougie Fresh that he was from the UK? Did you know that then?
No, I didn't know that.
Right, because we thought he was from where?
From here.
Specifically, we thought he was from New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we know that happened to him. Now he's free now, but he was locked up for some time when he went overseas and wasn't allowed over here for a long time. But now we see this is happening to 21 Savage now. Like I said, I don't think anybody really knew that he was born in the UK. Like, this is news to a lot of people. It may not be news to Amber Rose,
Right.
or anybody who's very, very close to him.
Right.
But he I don't know what's going on with that one, but we have a situation with that one. But like I said, people were saying that the timing is interesting. How he would be arrested now, based off of what he was saying about about the wall, about the border wall, and all of that. So my thing is this: if he's not from here and he didn't do the necessary things to make sure that he was a citizen legally in this country, then I can't feel sorry for him, and I really can't. I just can't. Right. So if he gotta go, he gotta go. I thought he was born here.
Well, a lot of these well, you know what it is, what trap music and today's artists with hip hop and trap music, it's like a lot of their labels, they would rather sign, like they rather hear that you're from the South. Sad but true. It's a thing even back in 2013, but from 2009, 8, 9, up until 13. But even now, it's like it's a certain thing that they love. It's like if you're from the South, you get automatically, it's like a shine on you. No disrespect to the South. It's just that the labels, they go with what's the labels. We gave up hip hop, so the labels go for what's hot. They go with what's the fad now. a lot of MCs like Savage 21, from Trinidad. He's born in Trinidad, but he called himself Trinidad. He's a trap artist.
You talking about Trinidad James?
Trinidad James, yeah.
Who we thought was from Atlanta?
I thought he was from Atlanta. I didn't know where he got the Trinidad from because the man didn't have no Trinidadian accent.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, that's what I said. So I put the two and two together, and I said, okay, he's born in Trinidad. That's why I gave himself Trinidad. I was wondering, I was like, oh, but he's in the South. Okay, he's born in Trinidad, but he just relocated to the South.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's common. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think we're aware of that, but Trinidad James is a legal citizen, though. So, I mean, that's the difference between him and 21 Savage.
Yeah, but it's a thing with the labels, though, man. The record labels, man, and it's just they force someone to be a certain hip hop artist. Sometimes they're like, okay, well, this was hot. Okay, I better do some trap music, man. And say I'm from Atlanta. I'm saying from Atlanta, or I'm from North Carolina or South Carolina,
Miami or something like that.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not the artist's fault. It's definitely not the artist's fault. It's
really not. It's the way the industry is.
Yeah.
But my thing is
the industry.
this man was looking kind of crazy out here because now people feel like this guy has made money off of being an imposter. Because he's how come he couldn't just maybe he physically can't do the British accent anymore. That's possible. I don't know how long the man been here, because there are people who are military babies who were born in Germany and then they grew up here. They don't have no German accent. They don't.
Yeah, they don't know.
So I understand that. But they said he overstayed his welcome, so he got to go. I just want to tell people, man, if you're going to come over here, man, just have your stuff together. Just have your stuff together, man.
Yeah,
otherwise, that way you ain't got to deal with stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but right now he's in ICE custody, immigration, that is.
Wow.
So I guess they'll be deporting him somehow. Maybe they could work out something so that he could stay. If that could happen in time, I don't know. But this is a brother who's facing deportation. They usually don't get a second chance. So maybe...
No, they don't.
So they're going to send him away. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think was going to happen. I think he's going to go back to UK. Either that or he's going to be locked up here. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know.
Yeah, So,
it's just,
but once Yeah, once he get deported, that's like he can't come back to the U.S. and things like that. So it's tough, man.
Yeah. Well, he made a career. He's had a career. Like I said, I don't. His music, man, it just don't connect with me. It don't vibe with me. But he's made a career. He has a name. We've seen him. It's all right. But what are they going to do with his finances, though? I hope they don't do no shady stuff like freeze his finances, because that's the kind of stuff that'll happen where now you can't even get to your money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going to happen
exactly.
there. I don't know. Maybe he had bank accounts in overseas. If that's the case, if that's the case, America has no jurisdiction on that. But, maybe he was smart. Maybe he had a bank account overseas. You know what I'm saying? It was because he probably knew one of these days he was going to be sent back.
Right.
So
he could have done the right thing though, but
Yeah. Well, you feel a lot of people feel like, this man was getting income. How did he not handle his citizenship situation? I know that's what a lot of people are thinking. We're not talking about some kid who works the fries at McDonald's, because even he would make sure his stuff is all right. He'd have a work visa or something, But this man here, he's making more than most. I don't know how much money he got, but I know he ain't.
Yeah.
I mean, he got more money than the working class. I would think. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I guess his record label didn't know. So they're gonna have to deal with that somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be like this. He'll still have his career, but just be overseas, and that's fine. I'm pretty sure they like trap music back in his hometown. I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So he'll be all right.
Yeah. England, yeah.
I don't know if he'll have his accent back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if when he gets over there, he's gonna have his accent back, and there's been a lot of memes in the internet talking about he's Sir Savage the 21st and all this other stuff.
Wow.
flipping his name, talking about the Queen of England, talking about his next music video is gonna be with the Queen of England and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I just want to get to some quick basketball news, man.
Yeah.
The Knicks fan that I am saw a trade, a marquee trade with Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee.
Wow.
Yeah, they got traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Dennis Smith Jr., 2 future first-round draft picks, DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews. DeAndre
traded?
Yeah. It happened sometime Saturday or Friday? No, Thursday actually.
Wow. So they're now players of the Dallas Mavericks. Wow.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Allegedly, Porzingis said that he wasn't going to re-sign with the Knicks. I guess they're saying that he was unhappy financially, that he wasn't going to get his max contract, but the organization told him like, "Yo, you just came off of a major injury, an ACL tear. We don't even know how you're going to be, and on top of that, we're trying to save cap space for free agency, and also position our place in the draft to get a picks 1 through 5. So they really don't know how he was going to be. So they ended up trading him for a guy they should have drafted last year, which was Dennis Smith Jr., a very talented point guard. Instead, they drafted Frank Ntilikina.
Oh.
Frank Ntilikina. I don't know how to say his last name right now, but Frank.
Yeah.
Frank Kina. So, the draft the trade was for the sake of cap space. Also, not knowing if your superstar is even your best player, that is, because he's not a superstar yet, that your best player was even going to be there come free agency. As a team, you don't want to lose if a player's not going to stay with you. So then you say, we hope at the end of the season he'll sign with us, and then he doesn't. So you basically just let a talent like that walk without you getting something for him. So that's why this trade happened. Now, there could be another trade be happening soon because, the Lakers put out an offer for Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and Michael Beasley.
Yeah,
and Rondo was included in that deal too, I think. Yeah, go ahead, Zaccheus.
The Knicks can use that though, so they can use it. They can use another trade off. I mean, we'll see how this. But they can use another one. They can use another trade off and mix it up a little bit. I believe that. So.
I think the Knicks. I think the Knicks will probably make another deal to probably get another pick because the Knicks are in rebuilding mode, and Dallas is not necessarily in a rebuilding mode. But Dallas did want to get rid of that contract that Wes Matthews had, but the Knicks took it on because Wesley Matthews becomes a free agent. So does DeAndre Jordan. Now, I hope they keep DeAndre Jordan because he is a good piece to the Knicks puzzle in terms of the front court. So that would work out. If not, they have the young kid Mitchell Robinson. So that'll probably be okay. But I feel like this. They're making these moves for cap space and future draft picks. And also they acquired a second-year player and Dennis Smith Jr., who was a very good point guard with a lot of potential. So I think the trade worked out for both people because if Porzingis is healthy, then you have him and Luka Doncic, who's the rookie, who's the real deal right now, a duo. And then Dirk Nowitzki has one more year, and that's it. He's going to retire. So I think the trade worked out for both people because Dallas was shopping around Dennis Smith Jr. anyway because Luka is the new point guard of their future. So it is what it is. And like I said, the Lakers are trying to make a deal. So to try to get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, what about the Carmelo Anthony thing? Is that gonna?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Carmelo Anthony. He's still sitting out there waiting for a team to sign him. I don't like how Carmelo Anthony has been. It's like he's been blackballed. Like for what? He didn't even do anything wrong. I can understand if the man did something controversial, but he didn't.
Right.
And he could still play. He could still get you 20 a game. I mean,
he still got it.
Melo's not a scrub.
Yeah.
No. But right now, Melo is still keeping himself fresh, staying in shape. He put up a video of his son playing ball. His little son. His little son for a younger guy skills, man.
Wow.
Shout outs to him. Shout outs to him. You know what's interesting? His son, LeBron's oldest, Dwayne Wade's oldest, are all playing ball, right? And they're the next they are the next generation that's soon to come. I hope all three of them make it to the league. I really do.
Wouldn't that be something to take off their fathers? Man, that'd be something, man.
I hope they all make it to the league. I hope they all do. I think Dwayne Wade and LeBron's son. I think Dwayne Wade's son is older than I think LeBron's son, if I'm not mistaken, because Dwayne Wade had his kid before LeBron did. If I'm not before LeBron did. So I think his son is older. Carmelo Anthony's son out of all of them is the youngest.
Yes.
And then you got I hope Chris Paul. I hope his son grows up as a ball player too. You know what I'm saying? I just hope they.
Right.
I just hope it continues, man. That'll be cool, man. You know what I mean?
Continue the cycle.
Exactly. I mean, Michael Jordan's sons weren't good enough to make it to the league. But I hope LeBron's son and Melo's son and Wade's son makes it. You know what I mean? So hopefully that happens. All right, we're gonna wrap up the show. Did we miss anything? Did we miss anything? I don't think we did, right?
Nah. We talked about we reflected on Rosa Parks. Today's her birthday.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we reflected on what's going on with the Super. We spoke a little bit about the Super Bowl.
Right. Talked about.
And we spoke a little. Yeah, and we talked about
21 Savage. Okay.
21 Savage, and we reflected on those things. So yeah, we think we covered as much as possible.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna get up out of here. Zaccheus, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just don't vote, but vote for someone that is for you. Vote for someone that's for the people. Vote for someone that's for the cause of uplifting our community and building our community and trying to enhance our communities. And trying to and also trying to gain your own business. Like the Boyce Watkins always talk about building your own capital and becoming your own businessman, and try to embark on that. That's what I would say. So yeah.
All right. Just to kind of say what you said, it's been a while since I had a final thought. All right. I'm going to compare Colin Kaepernick's protests in some sort of way to Ali and Tommy Smith and John Carlos.
Oh yes,
specifically.
Yeah.
So let me start off with Cap with our two Olympic heroes, Tommy Smith and John Carlos. In the time of the civil rights movement, Tommy Smith and John Carlos dominated the Olympics in track and field.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of, this is what they did. They got up there, they put their fist in they put the Black Panther, they did a tribute basically to the cause and to the Black Panthers by putting the black glove on their hands and raising their fists. And
raising their fists, yeah.
They risked a lot. They risked their career after that. They really did. But it was it was something that they had to do to put people on notice of the injustice of what's going on in our nation at that time. Here we are in this present modern day time, and there's still an injustice that's going on. The fight is still on. So Kaepernick took a knee, similar to what Tommy Smith and John Carlos did when they won their gold medal and silver medal by raising their fists in support of the cause. Now, as far as your career in terms of still having a voice, but still being a gifted athlete, I'm going to compare that to Muhammad Ali. Now, as great as Muhammad Ali was as an athlete, a boxer, he was also an activist. He was just as good as an activist as he was a boxer. He was a great speaker.
Oh, yes.
And he came from the school.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he basically came from the school of Malcolm X. If anything, they are both important in our history. Malcolm and Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali risked his career, facing jail time, all of that to not participate in the draft. And he specifically said, you want me to fight for you, but you won't fight for me here in America. And that's basically what Kaepernick is going through. He's been blackballed. And I know people say, well, he got his money, so he was able to protest. Well, that was a strategic move. Because if you're going to risk your job and your livelihood, you better make sure you have some money in play. I do believe that.
Yes.
So I can't fault him for that. The man said, the man, had a contract. He made particular money. He gave money to causes before and after. So for him to make that sacrifice to kneel and put his career on the line at a young age, having the money, okay, it was a strategic plan and it made sense, because I'm pretty sure a lot of rookies who just get signed wouldn't do that because they haven't marked themselves financially yet to carry on if their career in football ends. But I just want to give that acknowledgement to Kaepernick, and I'm still down with Cap, and I support his cause. Yeah. And I want I want Ricky Williams, former NFL player Ricky Williams, to talk with Colin Kaepernick and getting him a part of the football league that you're actually starting, Ricky Williams, the Freedom Football League. If there's anybody that you have to talk to, it would be Colin Kaepernick, because you said in your league that you won't fine players for protesting. Okay, now imagine if you were to give some of that bag to Colin Kaepernick. Even if Colin Kaepernick doesn't play and he becomes a partner in your business, or owner of a football team in your business, that is great. And I hope that them two are able to talk it out. And if he plays for you, he could be the face of your franchise. And I will definitely support. I'm going to support it anyway. But if you had Kaepernick, imagine the support, Ricky, that you would get if you signed Kaepernick. Yes. Imagine the stance that you would take. You're already taking a stance, Ricky. But imagine the impact that you would have if you signed Colin Kaepernick, or at least partnered with him in business. And that's all I want to say. That's my proposal to Ricky Williams. If he somehow somebody gets him to listen to this podcast, I don't know, but at least it was said. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to get up out of here. Zaccheus, where can they reach you?
Yo, you can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Facebook. Wayne Zaccheus Backus on Facebook. Also on Twitter. Wayne Backus, at Wayne Backus2 on Twitter. Also on Instagram. Zaccheus B73 on Instagram.
All right. Get me at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Fifth General. All right. This is Mrs. Z and Fifth signing off. Zaccheus, the Fifth General. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace. We out.